and there's some that are not so good. So the thing is, we just work with the best ones we can find. Always make connections with them, because there's some good therapists out there, and medical practitioners, right? Find the better ones. But I like to work with a mind wide open, right? One guy said, the best way to work with your mind is like a parachute, right? Now, you know what happens when you close a parachute and jump out of the plane. You don't get very far. Or you do, but you won't get up for it. If you open up a parachute, well, you catch all this stuff. And you're able to float down and check it out, right? So keep your mind wide open. Everything that we learn is theory. There's no facts that are right. Everything was made and rearranged here, and so, you know, we have to work with that. But that gives us a chance to evolve, right? That's the beauty about it. And to realize that we could make mistakes and we can get better from it, instead of just staying the same. It'd be boring if we all were just like in the 70s, right? No bottoms and there's nothing ever changed, right? Well, you can say the 70s.
That'd be strange.
But you know, you see how that evolving happens. And as a therapist, that's what I like to do. When I hear new things, I like to work with it and try to understand it and get the best out of it. But if I helped so many people that have been let down and pushed aside by other practitioners by just simply thinking about using this. Keep in mind. How it works sometimes, I don't really care. That person left without pain. I was actually at a big research conference, and one of the guys, they were starting to believe it. When they say they're arguing, they do argue. And these research people, they argue. They don't just know, hi, I'm talking about this. They argue really good. And one guy just said, hey, but I don't really care what any research says. If my client leaves without pain, that's all that matters to me. And I'm like, yeah. And that's what should matter to us. If we've done something that worked, that's all that should matter. How it works, sometimes we might not understand it. Right? And everybody's different, so it might not work on the next person. So you'll have to change that. You have to evolve for each person. There's like 1 billion people here. How many of us look the same? Not very many. How many of us have the same body? Not very many. Right? We're all different. And that's the beauty about that. And the beauty about therapy is you can evolve with it and make it work. So what are we talking about? Postural analysis, trigger points, laws, neurological laws, right? Theories and thought processes, how the body works. Muscles, we're going to learn muscles really, really well. We're going to learn about movement, how movement happens, how it should be free without any kind of deviation. It should be nice and easy movement. We're going to be working with all of this, right? And then you can understand by just small information how much you can move forward with that. You're going to make your own health history forms. You're going to learn how to chart things. It's just going to be a great adventure into the body that we live in. It's amazing. We're going to learn about neurological stimulants, diuretics, how they affect the body. So any questions on that so far? That's like a lot, but
This is one of the, again, another aspect that I found so exciting with neuromuscular therapy is it was the first time that I had an experience of actual body work profoundly affecting physiological function. And so I had a really real deep appreciation for the osteopathic principle. A.T. Stokes, the original osteopath, said, developed the law that says structure governs function. So you get the structure right, and then the function just comes online. The number of people, just really, even to this day, surprises me that got better just doing a lot of psoas work and pelvic tilt correction. They didn't have chronic fatigue. They didn't. One woman who had been trying to get pregnant for 7 years, I think about 4 or 5 IVF programs. We just did 6 sessions, and her pelvic tilt was terrible. She had distortions, leg differentials, curved spine. We just, by correcting everything there, first the back pain cleared up. Then she just felt better energetically, and then she got pregnant. How cool is that?
yeah.
I mean, just, it's like, wow, this stuff can actually have a dramatic effect on working with the structure. It can have an effect on physiological function. It's awesome.
It is. It's just amazing. It's just totally amazing. But it only makes sense too, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What are we made out of, man? We have a lot of tubes and pipes everywhere. Yeah? Yeah. Tubes and pipes, you get it? Organs and all that. Well, if I do this, what just happened to those tubes and pipes? I twisted them and torqued them and compressed some of them. So putting me back here means now they're open to work and work better than before. Right? Do I do this? Right? Same thing. I'm holding my head up and I'm compressing a lot of nerves that I come to the front of my neck, which will cut off my arms eventually. And then I can't use my arms. Right? So, but if I pull my head back up again, well then that'll all come back online, exactly what Rich is talking about. And that is really amazing that a lot of health practitioners aren't looking at the posture and helping it self-correct itself. And you can get a huge amount of change from that, which is amazing. It blows your mind away, just like, wow, I get that. It's great. It's great stuff. Cool. Any more great questions?
Can I ask, is disorders contrary to illness disorder?
This was what?
Osteoporosis or osteoarthritis, anything like that?
Oh, you have the same contraindications as massage. Yes. But if they only have osteoarthritis on one knee, well, you can work on the rest of the body. Right? And once you learn about the body, sometimes even those limits fade away.
And osteoporosis?
Oh, the same thing. Yeah. But see, if someone had osteoporosis, right, my initial question would be, why? Does anybody know the stats for osteoporosis in first, second, and third world countries? Well, only only the countries who drink a lot of caffeinated drinks, teas, coffees, and not fizzy drinks are the ones with osteoporosis. The third world countries who can't afford those things don't. And so that immediately tells me this person has taken their cells out by drinking things that prevent them from absorbing calcium. And then it leaches it out. So to me, the first advice is to send them to a nutritionist. So I want to understand that. And yes, I can always work on them as long as I work with another law, another orange law. I work light, right? And see what they can accept. We'll also learn about blood thinners and stuff because people might lose because they're taking things that will make them lose and that won't be the work. They'll be that's just because they lose anyway, because of some medications. So we learn quite a bit. You know, it's hard to sum it up in a couple hours. It would take a couple of weeks. By that time, you must have taken the course, right? So as you can see, you just get so much out of this course. You know, you start to learn, and of course you get to work on yourself as well, so you can know what it feels like and know how to work on yourself. Yeah. Cool. Good questions, guys. Yes. You know, like I said, we'll watch the video. We do have a video on scoliosis because scoliosis right now is getting worse and worse, I've noticed. And it's because, you know, culture, society, whatever, kids are just slouching over and twisting. And that's going to be very difficult for them to get rid of as they get older. When I first moved to a city, I get a picture with a crooked spine, you know, I get a really bad one, you know, and then a nice one. And I put a bearded child has a spine similar to this. Please look at it and see someone. If not, come see me. You know, and I've had parents come and say, what can I do? And I do usually a free session first to talk about it, and then about 30 minutes to talk about the spine and explain it to them. And then they usually come and we work on keeping the spine straight so it doesn't go to become a problem. Right? Because I've met children who've had surgery and all the things that they were told that they would have usually aren't the case after. And so we have a scoliosis video here that I'd like you to check out and take a look how aggressive another type of therapy may be. Yeah?
Can I just ask a question? Also, I've had a couple of my clients come in and their children have been told by doctors that their muscles are growing faster than their bones. So they're putting them in casts and things like that. With the EMT, would that be able to help sort of bring that back into balance as well?
I would say it would soothe it, but I would find out why.
Yeah, I just had quite a few lately.
I would check nutritionally why that's happening.
Yeah.
I would find, we also do, like I said, there's so many things to talk about. We'll talk about toxins, environmental things that could happen to them, hormonal type of foods that might be given into the body and making it change. And see, that didn't used to happen in the old days.
And there's a lot of
So
gas
the-
works in that around the
Yeah.
neck too, so it could
Do
be.
you mean like muscles growing faster than bones, or bones growing faster than muscles?
Muscles growing faster than the bones.
Right.
Like, yeah, I think.
So
oh,
the
sorry,
muscles
I-
becoming big
yeah.
and bulky and hanging over the bones.
Yeah, there was that one, and then there was the one where one of them was a really good runner, and he was running all the time, and then he just couldn't run. Everything just stopped, and that's probably when the bones were growing bigger than the muscles,
Yeah.
so faster than the muscles. So they actually put both his legs in casts, and so that he would just stop and basically try and catch up. And I was, yeah, and it's actually been 2 or 3 now I've had just in the last 6 months.
I would
These
definitely-
doctors are telling them, yeah,
I would get some toxic reports
yeah,
and get the nutritionists to see what they're eating.
yeah,
Or something like that.
Yeah.
And yes, you could massage them
yeah,
and at least give them relief
yeah,
to help them out. And that's what I would do as well, to make sure the posture
yeah,
doesn't get any worse, to support them. So even if they do have what they say they have,
yeah,
that the bones won't pull it apart even more.
yeah,
Does it make sense? Because
yeah, yeah.
if I were to get this guy here,